Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is your Monday Night Raw review for December the 20th, 2022. We got one of the best main events on Monday Night Raw this week. Not to mention, we got one of the greatest episodes of Monday Night Raw all week. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream minimum for today's Monday Night Raw review. Thank you guys for joining the live chats. You guys can follow me on Instagram. You can have me on Facebook and Snapchat. Of course, the links to my Instagram and Facebook accounts are in the description below, as well as my Snapchat name. As you guys can see, I made a lot of changes to my YouTube channel, and more changes is coming to my YouTube channel this week. I will officially have a new YouTube channel art banner starting this week, and a new YouTube profile. It's still going to have my same YouTube name logo on it, but it's going to have like a different background. It's going to be different WWE male, female superstars on it. And all of my main favorite Dragon Ball Super and Super Dragon Ball Hero characters on the channel art banner. It's going to look great. I'm going to be the one making it, so if you guys like the background, man, let me know. I did what I could. I put in work into the background. I put in work into making my thumbnail for these streams, like I always do every week. Now, I'm not going to waste anybody's time. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Monday Night Raw review. I'm just so glad that Bayley finally got a win on Monday Night Raw. I mean, Damage Control has been losing matches for over the last 3-4 weeks, man. It hasn't been good for them at all. It really hasn't. You know, as I said, we got a great main event, one of the best main events on the show. I don't know why WWE had to give us an intergender match. Nobody asked for that. I don't know why we got that. I'm not a fan of intergender matches. That's one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to WWE intergender matches. I don't know why they gave us Akira Tozawa versus Rhea Ripley. Nobody asked for that. Other than that, everything else on this show was decent. You know. So it was all one Monday Night Raw last night. We got Paul Heyman standing backstage, holding the WWE Universal Championship and the WWE Championship belts. Heyman introduced himself, noted that he works for Roman Reigns. The camera pulled back, showed that Reigns was seated in a chair beside Heyman. Reigns said, Raw is the home of Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns said, Kevin Owens continues to try to leave Raw, and now he's not by himself because he has John Cena. He said Owens would need the entire Raw room to have his back because Owens has interfered in his business too much. Reigns said the bloodline will make Owens' life a miserable hell until he and everyone else in the locker room acknowledges the bloodline. You know what Rollins always says every week? Acknowledge me. The Usos were shown playing to a backstage camera while Solo Sikoa held a wrestler that Sami Zayn was punching. Now, Sikoa picked up Mustafa Ali off the ground and spiked him. The Raw opening aired. The broadcast team was Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. Nobody gives a shit about Kevin Patrick. Corey is great on commentary. Corey Graves is absolutely great on commentary. Kevin Patrick, nah, not so much. And with Mike Rome as the ring announcer for Monday Night Raw. So, you know, it was a fun and unexpected opening. You know, I did like that they are actually doing some crossover with this story of Owens and Cena facing Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn on December the 30th of SmackDown. Now, the SmackDown numbers have been strong while Raw numbers hit. So, you know, and as you guys know, I did go over the news on the SmackDown viewership for last week. And I went over the news on the Monday Night Raw viewership last week as well. If you guys haven't checked out all the other content on the channel, please go do so. There's plenty there. You got your Monday Night Raw review from last week, from last Monday. The NXT review is on the channel. AEW Dynamite reviews on the channel from last week, as well as your SmackDown and Rampage review. You got all that stuff to check out. Now, I've been taking breaks from doing WWE and AEW news live streams because I simply just give out the WWE and AEW news, all of my reviews. So, and speaking of WWE and AEW news, I do have the WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon we're all going to go over. We got plenty of WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news to go over. So, well, as far as the SmackDown numbers and Raw numbers go, it is a big boost for Raw to have more bloodline involvement. Now, given that the bloodline are legitimately almost the best things in WWE, and Judgment Day are too. Judgment Day also continue to be the best things in WWE. But the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, made their entrance with Akira Tozawa. Grace wondered if Tozawa was with the Profits due to their being strong, due to their being strength in numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. Due to their being strength in numbers following the warning from Roman Reigns. Now, the Judgment Day faction made their entrance. Dominik Mysterio wore shades after being sprayed with Asuka's mist last week. Corey Graves called him brave for appearing despite his injuries. We got Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins versus Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Rhea, Ripley, and Dominik Mysterio at ringside. Early in the match, footage aired of the Bloodline members beating up Andre Chase from NXT in the backstage area. I do have some news on him. We're going to go over that after, or a little after the Monday Night Raw review. Jay picked up a guitar and handed it to Sikoa for a solo performance. Now, Sikoa slammed the guitar over the head of Chase. Graves noted that Chase was at Raw due to competing on the WWE main roster taping. Meanwhile, Ford leaped off the ropes and was struck by Priest, who then delivered a shoulder block that sent Ford to ringside, heading into a commercial break. So Monday Night Raw last night got their first commercial break of the evening. And then late in the match, Tozawa threw whatever was in his solo cup at Rhea, who ducked, causing Dom to be hit with the liquid. Ford rolled up a distracted Balor and pinned him. After the match, Ripley left the ring, approached Tozawa, who was on the stage, and that was set up with a Christmas theme. Ripley jawed at Tozawa and then punched him. Tozawa fell to the ground. Ripley challenged Tozawa to fight her. Ripley returned to the ring and motioned for Tozawa to join her. Graphics walked behind Tozawa as he approached the ring. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, the distraction finish was par for the course, but you know, I ain't gonna lie, I really do like the hook of Rip punching Tozawa and demanding that he come to the ring and fight her as the show went to break. Even though I like intergender matches, the match was good for what it was. You know, it was a really good attempt to hold the attention of viewers as well. But we got Ripley versus Akira Tozawa. Ripley put Tozawa down with an early big boot. Ripley worked over Tozawa with kicks in the corner and then played to the crowd. So once they played to the crowd, Ripley put Tozawa down and then threw forearms shots to the back of his head. Ripley slammed Tozawa's face onto the mat and hit him with another shot to the back of the head. Tozawa tried and failed to suplex Ripley. Now, she was the one that suplexed him instead, covering him for a 2 count. A short time later, Ripley caught Tozawa diving at her. He ended up rolling her up for a 2 count. There was a wonky spot where Ripley dropped Tozawa. She powered him up. But that's not the only thing. He sent her out of the ring with a Hurricane Rana. Tozawa ran the ropes for a dive. Balor tripped him. Ford and Dawkins entered the ring and performed flip dives onto Balor and Priest in the ring. Now, Tozawa avoided charging Ripley, who crashed into the corner. Tozawa knocked Dom off the apron. Tozawa went for a top rope senton that Ripley avoided. Ripley performed the Riptide and pinned Tozawa for the 1, 2, 3. As much as I praised Triple H and his administration and their creative heading into the commercial break, which I watched Monday Night Raw last night when I came home from work, you know, the show wasn't bad. It's just we didn't really need an intergender match to be booked for the show, you know. But I'm wondering if they would have been better off announcing this match in advance. Now, with that being said, they took match combined with the opening segment and bloodline attacks did cause the show to feel a tiny bit, I'll be honest, it felt a tiny bit less formula than usual. But overall, man, you know, both teams did put great effort to deliver a fun, exciting match. You know, even though they were the big guys in the match, Priest and Dawkins had some of the best spots. Now, to be honest, Ford ended up getting the win for his team with a roll-up after Tozawa distracted Balor by throwing his drink in Dom's eye. Ripley got in Tozawa's face, challenged him to a match, which that happened, of course. Now, this is the first intergender match that ever took place on WWE television in many years. And all of us WWE wrestling fans probably shouldn't really get used to it. It did feel like a one-off. It wasn't a long match at all. But it is fun to see Rhea Ripley beat up dudes. I will admit that. So that's all you're going to hear from me on that. Package recapped. Seth Rollins beating Bobby Lashley to earn a United States Championship match, which I predicted on my reviews 2 weeks ago what was going to happen. I told you guys that Seth Rollins was walking in and walking out as the #1 contender for Austin Theory's United States Championship. Did I not say that 2 weeks ago? Didn't I not also say that Alexa Bliss is walking out as the #1 contender for Bianca Belair's Women's Championship? Yeah. Look at that. IWN right again. So, a footage of Lashley accidentally elbowing an official, which led to Adam Pearce firing him. Now, Adam Pearce was shown a voicemail in which he urged to call him. Pearce ended the call and was asked by Kathy Kelly about the situation with Bobby. Pearce said they in private at the WWE headquarters. Now, Pearce said it's not really a matter of if, but rather a matter of when Lashley returns to work. MVP approached Pearce, asked for a word. Pearce was receptive. Referee showed up, told Pearce that he needed Pearce to come with him because something had happened. The OCs, AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Karl Anderson, and me and Yim made their entrance. Gallows and Anderson will face Alpha Academy after the break. That's what it said last night on Monday Night Raw. Kathy Kelly was backstage with a microphone where Adam Pearce's producer, Shane Helms, who used to be Hurricane in the Attitude Era in WWE. Referees were actually helping Cedric Alexander and Dolph to their feet, but they were apparently beat up by the Bloodlines. Solo Sikoa, Jimmy J. Uso, and Sami Zayn. Alpha Academy made their entrance. So we got Luke Gallows and Anderson versus Alpha Academy's Chad Gable and Otis. Shush, you know. That's their gimmick as a tag team. Gallows knocked Otis off of his feet with a leaping shoulder block. Otis rolled to ringside, actually. And Gable ran in and was dumped by Anderson over the top rope. And Otis on the floor. That looked like that. Got a lot to you. Late in the match, Otis held up Gallows, and then Gable leaped off the top rope, slammed into the back of Otis, who crushed Gallows. Anderson broke up the pin. Once he broke up the pin, Gallows top rope moonsault and kicked Gable. Anderson tagged in Gallows in hitting the Magic Killer on Chad Gable before pinning him. So after the match, the OC was standing in the ring monkeying for the cameras when they were attacked from behind by the Bloodline members, Jimmy Uso, and Sami Zayn, which I just mentioned like 4 minutes ago. The Usos put Gallows down with their 1D finisher. Adam Pearce led a group of security guards to the ring, and we had yet another good hook heading into a commercial break. Another good match. The match was fine. Gallows and Anderson did feel a little flat in beating consistent match losers in Alpha Academy can only provide so much of a boost in the company. But at the same time, the Good Brothers maintained the upper hand until the show went to a break. You know, of course, Anderson made hot tags so Gallows could run wild. The OC was able to score the win, man. A good win. I mean, it was fine, like I said, but it's not as good as some of the other encounters we've seen from these groups. You know, you want to talk about a few moments, you know. Anderson is a better technical wrestler than he gets credit for. But fighting guys like Gable lets him show off those skills. Also, we saw more from the Bloodline attacking everyone in sight backstage before this match took place. Once it was over, the Bloodline ambushed the OC, which that was great too. This could be planting seeds for the OC versus the Bloodline on Monday Night Raw in 2 weeks, maybe. We could be getting that match. Could you imagine the Judgment Day versus the Bloodline? Could we imagine if we get the Judgment Day feuding with Bloodline? All they have to do is turn Judgment Day babyface, and we get babyface Judgment Day feuding with the Bloodline as heels. Even Damian Priest, I got some news on Damian Priest saying that he wants the Judgment Day and OC feud to happen. Now, anyways, guys. Okay. Bliss becoming the #1 contender, which I predicted was going to happen. I knew she was winning it. I mean, there's no way Bayley was winning it. There's no way that anybody in the community would want to see Bayley versus Bianca Belair again. I mean, come on, man, give me a break. Ain't that stupid? Come on. I ain't that dumb. I'm certainly not blind. I know more than one thing. Trust me. So they were then teasing a Sister Abigail on Bianca Belair afterward. Oh God. I would rather them tease the goddess heel turn than Sister Abigail. I want to see the goddess Alexa Bliss on TV. I don't want to see Sister Abigail Alexa Bliss. I want to see the goddess. The goddess is known for talking trash to the fans, like MJ from AEW. Like how MJF and he talks trash to the fans. I want to see that Alexa Bliss. I want to see the Alexa Bliss tricking fans into thinking she's going to be wrestling. I want to see that Alexa Bliss, man. You know, that's the Alexa Bliss I want to see. The goddess gimmick from Alexa Bliss is one I want to see. I want to see the goddess Bliss back on TV. It's better than what she has right now. I'll tell you that right now. But backstage, Styles demanded to face one of the Bloodline members. Pearce announced Styles versus Zayn for later in the show last night. Byron Saxton conducted a sit-down interview with Rollins Championship Bianca Belair. Rollins Champion Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. Saxton asked Bliss what happened last week. Bayley's been wondering too and does not trust Hour 2 of Monday Night Raw. And Bliss said she couldn't really explain it all now, but she could talk about what happened in the past. Bliss said Bray Wyatt abducted her and turned her into a dark an evil version of herself and then left her. Abandonment issues. Bliss said she went to pretty much therapy and turned her into a shell of a person she doesn't recognize. It is still trying to work through. She said that her friendship with Belair and Asuka made her stronger. Belair said she sympathizes with everything Bliss has been through. She asked if Bliss really expects her to believe she didn't know what happened last week. Bliss said Wyatt isn't a threat to Belair. She is a threat to her. Bliss said she was winning championships before Bella came to WWE and said she can do it again. Come do it, then, Bianca Belair said. Saxton wrapped up the interview. Wyatt symbol flashed on the TV behind them. When both women stood up to leave, lit a flower vase and sit over the back of Belair's head. This was another one of the best things on Monday Night Raw. I love the way Bliss hit Bianca Belair with the vase. She hit her with the vase as if Bianca Belair did nothing for Alexa momentum. The feud of Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss continues. We are definitely getting Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss for Elimination Chamber. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss will be in the Royal Rumble, in my honest opinion. I think they're gonna scratch their entries into the Royal Rumble. I can't see Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair happening for the Royal Rumble right now. I can see it happening for Elimination Chamber more so than Royal Rumble. Now, Patrick announced Belair versus Bliss for the Rollins Championship for January 2nd on the first Raw of 2023. Oh, so we're getting the match on January the 2nd. Okay. I guess we still might get another Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair match. I still think we're getting another one, though, for Elimination Chamber. Trust me when I tell you this, guys. I think we are getting Bliss versus Belair for Elimination Chamber. Because why would they be booking the match for the first Raw of 2023? Something spectacular, something suspicious is going on here. I'm curious as to why they're booking this match for the first Raw of 2023. I guess we'll find out when 2023 gets here. The cash bags were shown being raised over the ring for the ladder match. The Miz made his entrance. A lot of people blame Byron. Clearly, Bliss is triggered by the Wyatt symbol appearing on the TV screens. Byron is aware of this and opted to hold the interview on a set with a television screen. I mean, he knows what he's doing. Let his nice guy act anyway. This was more of the same in a good way. I won't say that. Now, Dexter Lumis made his entrance along with Johnny Gargano. So we got Lumis versus Miz. The bell rang to start the match. Miz immediately rolled to ringside where the ladders were set up. Essentially, Lumis followed and ran Miz into one of the ladders and then tossed himself inside the ring. Lumis also grabbed a ladder, wanted to slide it in the ring. Miz drop kicked the ladder into Lumis. A short time later, Lumis performed a superplex from the middle rope with Miz down in the corner right now. Lumis tipped a ladder over the feud between Miz's legs. Now, Lumis set a ladder, made a play for the cash. Miz pretty much rushed up the ladder to cut him off they tipped the ladder over and both men crashed onto the mat. Now, the Miz got his hands on the money bags. When he got his hands on the money bag, Lumis pulled him down. Lumis put Miz in a standing version of his submission hold. Miz reached the ropes, countered into a net breaker onto the apron, kinda. Miz slammed a ladder onto Lumis, and then putting Lumis inside the ladder and slammed it shut multiple times. Yes, on the ground, I could see Bronson Reed versus Walter happening. I think Bronson Reed versus would be one of the best Intercontinental Championship matches on the show. If they do it right, of course. If it's produced and booked right. It needs a story as well. It also needs a story to that match, to that feud. Now, but anyways, guys, where was I? Oh yeah, Miz slammed a ladder onto Lumis. Miz puts Lumis inside the ladder, slammed it shut multiple times. Miz threw another ladder and various chairs onto Lumis. Now, excuse me, the crowd chanted for tables. Miz teased pulling one out and then taunted the crowd. Miz attacked Gargano and then ran him into the barricade. Miz picked up a ladder and used it to knock Gargano over the barricade. Mia played to the crowd, then turned and spotted that Lumis was pretty much up and staring at him. I didn't mean to say Mia, I meant to say Miz. Got Mia Yim in my head now. Because, you know, I did mention that we could be getting Rhea Ripley versus Mia Yim Elimination Chamber. It's a possibility. You never know. But Lumis performed a Uranagi slam onto a ladder. Lumis looked to the crowd and they chanted for tables again. Lumis cheered. He cleared the broadcast table. I can't see Lumis cheering in the crowd. I mean, that's not Lumis. But Lumis cleared the broadcast table and then placed on top of it. Lumis climbed a ladder that was standing up next to the table. Lumis went for a leg drop off the ladder, but Miz rolled out, causing Lumis to pretty much catch through the barricade. Not the barricade, broadcast table. Oh, guess what, guys? A holy shit chant was consored. Apparently, I'm dizzy. My head is feeling weird this afternoon. I don't know why. That's probably explains why I'm getting my stuff wrong a little bit. Miz rolled into the ring and set up a ladder while hopping on one leg. Miz climbed the ladder, got his hands on the money. Lumis returned to the ring, climbed up the other side of the ladder. Lumis threw Miz off the ladder. Lumis reached up, put his hands on the bag. Bronson Reed appeared and pulled Lumis off the ladder. Reed went up top, splashed Lumis. Graves said it wasn't a splash, it was a tsunami, pretty much. Now, Reed helped Miz to his feet and then helped him up the ladder. Miz took the money bags down to win the match. So we got the return of Bronson Reed. It's great to see him back in WWE. I knew he was coming back at some point. Let's be honest. The crowd loves to chant tables, man. You love to see it. But the crowd were also very quiet early on, despite how much television time this feud has received. They were also quiet for Reed's return as well. For those who don't know, Reed was an NXT standout. He was a Triple H project. He was a Triple H talent. Reed was an NXT standout who was thought to be the Verge of being called up to the main roster when he was released from his deal. Let's be honest, the only reason why they released Bronson Reed because A, they didn't have no plans for him, and B, he was fat. To Vince and Bruce, he was fat and overweight, which I don't think that's right, which I think that's mean as fuck. Goes to show you that Vince and Bruce doesn't give a shit about men's or women's wrestling. Which is why I'm glad that Mr. Big Man, is gone. Yeah. Vince McMahon and Bruce, they don't give a shit about men's and women's wrestling. They don't give a shit about themselves, the money, the power, and their vision. They only give a shit about what they want, not what the fans want. Which is why I'm glad that Vince McMahon retired, and which is why that Bruce gets fired. Whatever. Anyways. Now, he used the name Jonah while working in, I don't even want to say it, man. It's one of the worst wrestling promotions in the modern day era, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and elsewhere. He's the latest Paul Levesque rehire, and a good one at that. Now, I'm sure you guys hope, and I'm hoping too myself, that he didn't return to do a bunch of tag matches with The Miz against Lumis and Gargano. Oh, no, that is not what we want to see. We want to see Bronson Reed as a singles competitor, not a tag team competitor. No. Hope to God they don't do what they did with Shelton Benjamin and R-Truth. What they did with Shelton Benjamin and R-Truth was a complete disaster. Knowing they're not a tag team, they're both singles competitors. Why would you pair R-Truth up with Shelton Benjamin? That made no sense. And it wasn't Triple H and his administration that paired up R-Truth with Shelton Benjamin. It was a Bruce and Vince idea. A Bruce and Vince idea. Imagine that. Look at that. Imagine that, man. That was awful, dude. The way they did R-Truth and Shelton Benjamin. We all know that Vince and Bruce and their creative is dog shit. To this day, I'm still glad that Vince McMahon retired. He should have retired 15 years ago. I said it last week. Here I am saying it again this week. Backstage, Rollins checked out his Otis own t-shirt while the Bryce team hyped his homecoming. They also hyped Becky Lynch versus Bayley and then recapped footage of the Bloodline's various segments. AJ Styles made his entrance for his match against Sami Zayn. Another one of the best matches on the show. This money's imagery was shown in Sami Zayn made his entrance. John Cena and Owens. Man, John Cena and Owens, that's not a bad tag team. I like the idea of WWE having John Cena as Kevin Owens' tag team partner. It pretty much makes sense, given that Kevin Owens and John Cena has history between one another, and they have good chemistry in the ring. So I could see why. I could easily see why John Cena is KO's partner for their match against Reigns and Sami Zayn for the December the 30th edition of SmackDown. Plus, this gives WWE time to figure out who John Cena's opponent is going to be for WrestleMania 39. I think this is perfect. Term booking. You have AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Styles dominated Zayn to start. Zayn eventually clotheslined Zayn. No, I'm just kidding. Man. Guys, I know you don't want to imagine two Sami Zayns in the ring. No way. We don't need to see two Sami Zayns in the ring, man. I mean, come on. Ain't no way. That's like Super Saiyan God Red Goku versus Super Saiyan God Blue Goku. I mean, no, we don't see that. We want to see, the only Sami Zayn we want to see is Sami Uso. Sami Uso's Blue Thunder Brawl is Uzi, man. Uzi. Really is. But Styles, on a serious note, guys, Styles dominated Zayn to start, pretty much. Zayn eventually clotheslined Styles over the top rope. Styles, I'm guessing Styles clothesline because I'm confused. Styles came back and set up for his finisher. Zayn crashed into the ropes, which actually sent Styles to the floor. Zayn put Styles down with a nice brain buster for a near fall. Styles came back with a Pele kick. We call that a messy now. Graves said on commentary in a timely reference to Sunday's World Cup hero. Zayn executed exploder suplex and then set up in the opposite corner. Zayn went for a Haluva kick. But Styles cut him off, rolled him into a calf crusher. Zayn reached the ropes to break the hold. Then we got Solo Sikoa being shown walking into the arena from Old Shield entrance attire. Zayn got the better of distracted Styles for a moment. Styles battled back quickly. Styles set up for his finisher and then up to attack Sikoa ringside. Zayn went to the floor and was run into the broadcast table by Styles. The referee was distracted when Zayn returned to the ring, allowing Sikoa to hit Styles with a Samoan spike. There goes Sikoa, back at it again with paying homage to Umaga. I said that Solo Sikoa is the next Umaga and Samoan Joe in WWE. I wasn't lying. Now was I? Zayn hit Styles with a Blue Thunder Bomb and pinned him. It's the first time I've seen Sami Zayn hit a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 1-2-3. Usually he'll hit a Blue Thunder Bomb in 1-2 and the talent will kick out. But wow. Amazing match, man. So after this match, Pearce came out without a microphone and barked at Zayn. Or should I say, oh man, I was going to say something else, but it came right back out of my head. But Pearce did come out with a microphone and barked at Zayn while Zayn and Sikoa were heading toward the back. I guess when they saw Adam Pearce, they hightailed it out of there quickly. I don't even think I started the show, to be honest. Rollins was shown dancing backstage. Needs to be dancing into his cool theme song. That burn it down. An ad for next week's Raw listed the show as the absolute best of Raw 2022. Oh, Seth Rollins dancing into his theme song is exactly what he did. Because home state hero Seth Rollins made his entrance. Graves announced Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins for the United States title on the January 2nd edition of Raw. So maybe we're not getting that for Elimination Chamber, but then again, it's a possibility that we could be getting it for Elimination Chamber. Rollins started off by playing to the host crowd or host city and welcomed them. I was going to say host crowd, but I ended up saying host city. Or, actually, I think I'm better off saying the host city crowd. Yeah, and welcome them to Monday Night Rollins. I'm back, baby. I'm better than ever, Rollins said. He's better than ever as a babyface. But he could do both. We all know he's good with both babyface and heel run. Now, Rollins said the bloodline was in the house. They were jumping everyone except him. Rollins said he's not saying they are scared, but he had a message for them to deliver to the tribal chief, Roman. Monday don't belong to you, Rollins said before saying it belongs to him. Now, as far as the absolute best of Monday Night Raw 2022, I don't think absolute part of the absolute best of Monday Night Raw 2022 is a tease for Ricky Starks. I mean, anyway, man. The match featured the usual distraction style finish. You had to know that Zayn would go over given his, involvement in the big SmackDown tag team match, jumping back to Monday Night Raw. But anyways, the U.S. champion Austin Theory made his entrance and joined Rollins inside the ring. So Austin Theory said nothing belongs to Rollins. He recalled Rollins stating that the U.S. title is the title of Raw. Theory said that can mean only one thing. Well, I can't argue. I mean, the United States Championship is Monday Night Raw material. The championship is here. The champion's here, Theory said his era is forever, and this is just the beginning. Theory said Rollins would actually pass the torch to him whether he likes it or not. Theory said if Rollins doesn't pass it to him, well, he will take it from his cold, legendary fingers, says Austin Theory. Well, Merry Christmas to you, kid, Rollins said. Rollins warned Theory to keep his cool or he'd end up like Bobby Lashley. Theory said Rollins has gotten lucky throughout his entire career. Rollins questioned why Theory is so angry when he has so many things going for him. Rollins said Theory will never beat him. Theory questioned how many times Rollins has fumbled the ball, just like the Bears. Theory spoke about Rollins going to the mountaintop and said that once he falls off the peak, well, he will go and come to realization that he is the third most successful member of the Shield. Rollins said Theory has it wrong. He is the damn mountaintop. Rollins dared Theory to show him what kind of man he is. Jey Uso showed up at ringside. Hey, we've got company. Rollins told Theory, let's deal with this later. Rollins and Theory started to remove their jackets once the Usos climbed onto the apron. Theory kept his jacket on and then left the ring with his title belt, leaving Rollins to face both Usos. The Usos entered the ring and quickly got the better of Rollins. Kevin Owens' entrance music played. He made his entrance to a strong reaction. Jimmy Uso went to ringside and took a swing at Owens, who ducked it and ran him into the barricade. Owens entered the ring, was attacked by Jey. Rollins pulled Jey off and punched him to clear him from ringside. Pretty much clearing him from the ring. Pearce and producers ran out, escorted the Usos toward the back, while Rollins told Owens that it was nice to see him. Rollins asked Owens if he was thinking what he was thinking. Yeah, I think this Montez wants to see the two of us kick their asses. Owens replied, Owens called for a tag match. Pearce made the match official. See, why can't AEW do that? Why can't AEW have a general manager that can do what Adam Pearce is doing? I don't understand it. I really don't get it. But anyways, nonetheless, we got a very good segment that provided strong hype for the Rollins vs. Theory match on January the 2nd, as well as this show's main event, which was easily the best main event on the show. I mean, it says it in the title, if you look. Becky Lynch delivered a backstage promo. She said Bayley has been playing a cat and mouse game since she returned. Lynch said she wants the best version of Bayley and said the best version is the solo version. Lynch spoke about their similarity, said the difference is that she did things by herself. Lynch said that if you're going to stab her in the back, then at least be the one holding the knife. She said whether it's 1-on-1 or 1-on-3, she would die on her own sword. Damage Control Bayley and Dakota Kai made their entrance. A graphic taunted that WWE tripped her. A graphic taunted that WWE has reached over 2 million. No, I'm just joking. I'm just playing. I don't know what my problem is today. I really don't. It's like all of a sudden, sandwich. It's like, and you know what? My head was feeling like this all morning. I mean, like, I don't understand why I'm feeling like this. Could it be because I didn't get enough sleep? I mean, maybe I need to take a little nap or something after I give you guys your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news, which will be right after the Monday Raw review. Now, for real, guys, there was a graphic taunted that WWE did reach over 20 million followers on TikTok. I mean, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares about this. Bayley Lynch. I said Bayley. Jesus Christ. I can't get my shit right today, man. Show me. Becky Lynch made her entry. Big ovation. We got Becky Lynch versus Bayley with Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Lynch was in offensive control when Bayley tripped her up near the ropes. Lynch Sky attempting to slap her. Lynch came back and set up for her finisher on the apron, but Bayley avoided it and slammed Lynch's face onto the middle rope. Lynch avoided a Bayley to belly attempt and then put her down with an inverted DDT that led to a 2 pretty much. Lynch draped Bayley over the middle of the rope, went for a leg drop from the ropes, but Bayley moved. Lynch landed on her feet and dragged Bayley into the ring. Bayley put Lynch down with a Bayley to belly before he didn't fall. Bayley barked that she Lynch slapped her and then stuffed her rose plant attempt. Lynch performed a diamond dust stunner for a near fall. Bayley tripped Lynch, tried to pin her while using the ropes for leverage. Respotted it. Lynch went for her finisher. Sky and Kai grabbed Bayley's legs to block it. Lynch performed a baseball slide. The referee ejected Sky and Kai from ringside. Sky and Kai protested. And then Lynch attacked Kai. Bayley hit a distracted Lynch from and then put her down using her rose plant finisher. Bayley covered Lynch for the 3 count. That was pretty much it. The Usos were shown warming up backstage. An ad for SmackDown hype the previously advertised matches. Now, as hot as the crowd was for Lynch during her entrance, they faded as the match went on. Now, I'm kind of down with the number of cheap finishes that occurred on WWE television this week on Monday Night Raw. But, you know, I couldn't really complain about Bayley going over in cheap fashion to create the need for a rematch because she desperately Her and Damage Control desperately needs wins on the Monday Night Raw women's roster. I mean, they should have been got wins upon arrival, upon their return to the main roster, man. I mean, there's no sense in having them lose. Have them win. Have them be a dominant force within the Raw women's division. Do them like you did with Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville when they were Evolution. That's how they should be doing damage right now. In my honest opinion. Patrick and Graves, Hype Undertaker's one-man show February the 6th in Montreal. If you guys missed the news on that, please. All you have to do is go check out my AEW Rampage SmackDown review. The news on that is in the description. All you got to do is watch the whole SmackDown and AEW Rampage review. And then the part with you guys, your WWE and AEW, I think, what was it? Monday morning news, I think. Or was it Tuesday? I think it was Monday, either Monday morning or Tuesday morning. I did give out the news. But, however, I did give out the news on The Undertaker appearing for a one-man show. And when and where it's taking place. So sounds like it's going to be good. I don't know much about it, though. That's the problem. They also narrated highlights of Owens saving Rollins from an Usos attack. Backstage, Rollins told Owens it had to be a long time. Owens recalled Rollins trying to steal his WrestleMania spot. Rollins also acted like he didn't remember and it wasn't him. Rollins looked marvelous, but it was him. Owens said it's moot because tonight it's about beating the hell out the bloodline. The Usos made their entrance. Patrick hyped a text number from WWE Breaking News. Graves hyped Cena and Owens versus Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn for December 30th edition of SmackDown. Owens and Rollins made their entrances for the main event. The broadcast team hyped next week's absolute best of 2002 edition of Raw. And then that's when we got the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, Jimmy J. Uso versus Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens in a non-title match. I'm thinking this match will be booked for maybe that's the match that's going to be booked for Elimination Chamber. I would be surprised if that match ends up being booked for Elimination Chamber, which it could be. There's a possibility. I could see KO and Seth Rollins working together as a team against the Usos for Elimination Chamber. Man, I could see that match still in the show. Non-title match, but an actual title match. Even though Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are not a real tag team, but they have chemistry in the ring. They got good chemistry together. Now, the teams fought bravely before the bell. Owens got the better of Jay early on. Called out for Sami Uso. Jimmy hit Owens with a cheap shot from the apron. Solo Sikoa pretty much up the barricade while Owens was getting the better of Jimmy. Gallows and Karl Anderson showed up, attacked Sikoa. Jay dove onto the pile at ringside. Rollins then dove into the pile. Sikoa charged Rollins, who ducked, causing Sikoa to run into the ring post. Rollins put Jey Uso down with a stomp to the floor. Austin Theory reached out the barricade. And hit Rollins with the States title belt. In the ring, Jimmy went for a super splash, or should I say a superplex. But Owens fought him off, headbutted him off the ropes. Owens dropped down and charged Jimmy, who super kicked him and then covered him for a near fall. This is awesome! Chants broke out from the fans in the crowd in attendance for this show. Jimmy went up top. Owens avoided the move he was going for. Owens kicked Jimmy, who blocked a stunner. Owens stuffed a super kick and then landed one of his own. Owens went for a pop-up move, but Jimmy leaped over him. Jimmy charged Owens, who ducked a clothesline. Jimmy ran the ropes and took a pop-up powerbomb before being pinned. Graves said he could guarantee that Roman Reigns was unhappy about Rollins and Owens beating the Usos. Highlights from the match were shown. Owens was celebrating his win when Sami Zayn went to the ring behind him and stopped in his tracks. When Owens spotted him, Owens moved his wrist tape. Zayn smiled and left the ring and then jawed at Owens from the floor. Oh man. We are nearing the beginning of the end for Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. And close to the bump that the Bloodline is supposed to turn on Sami Zayn. Oh, it's happening soon. Trust me. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, man. It'll happen out of nowhere and you'll be shocked. I'm telling you. Once the Bloodline turns on Sami Zayn, we're going to get that Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Usos feud. So we're going to get KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos for WrestleMania. I think that's where that tag team title match will be taking place. I mean, I can't see it taking place at the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. It wouldn't make sense to take place at both of those pay-per-views. I think it would make more sense for it to take place at WrestleMania 39. That's the way I see it. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships needs to be booked for WrestleMania 39. It makes sense. It really does. Legitimately. Now, Zayn joined the Usos in Sokoa while Graves hyped Cena and Owens versus Reigns and Zayn for the December the 30th edition of SmackDown. Patrick hyped Theory versus Rollins for the United States Championship on this January the 2nd. Raw. A graphic listed Bayley, Alliance, and Rhea Ripley for Raw Talk. Who gives a shit? Nobody wants to know about that. Owens jawed at the heels, and Rollins was shown getting to his feet at ringside to close the show. This was a fun main event with Owens and Rollins picking up a non-title win over the Usos. Obviously, they can revisit this and go with a tag team title match at some point for Elimination Chamber. Given that Elimination Chamber is in February, right? In this case, I really enjoyed the stuff at ringside with Sokoa. Now, Gallows and Anderson Theory, they closed a good show with a strong main event. You know, it felt like they took that approach last week instead and then opted to turn things up again for the last live edition of 2022. Overall, Monday Night Raw was a great show. Very, very great show, man. There was effort. There was build. You know, there were good segments, good matches on the show. Everything you need. Everything you need. Everything that you should typically see on WWE and AEW television every week. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for your Monday Night Raw December the 20th, 2022 review. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up, please. Let's get a lot of likes on the stream. Minimum. Again, let's get a whole bunch of likes on the stream. Minimum. No complaints. I got a lot of brand new content that I'll be streaming on the IWN YouTube channel. Starting this weekend, I will be returning to YouTube streaming games again. Streaming games for the first time in a long time. It's been a while since I haven't done that. It's going to be fun. And I'm going to be streaming my very first laptop PC game on the laptop, on the Android, for the first time. It's going to be great. I can't wait to stream WWE 2K22, Splitgate, and Dragon Ball Universe 2 this week. I'm getting that DLC with Gamma 1, Gamma 2, and Gohan. I want to try it. I want to try that DLC. I really do. And I know the next DLC we're getting is Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo. That'll be awesome. It's going to be awesome, man. Folks, I'm not done yet. I'm going to be taking a 5-minute break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. When I come back, it'll be time for your WWE and AEW. It'll be time for me, of course, to give you your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news. So, stay tuned, because that's coming up next right here on the IWN YouTube channel. For now, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for me to give you guys your WWE and AEW Tuesday afternoon news. We're going to start with your WWE Tuesday afternoon news on Lana. So apparently, Mandy Rose is not the only one that's actually making money from her premium service. Now, there's news out that Lana is making more money from her premium service than her best year in WWE. So Lana was once heavily featured on WWE television, as you guys know, where she was involved in a feud with Nia Jax and others. Her run with the company ended after her release due to budget cuts. I think they didn't simply have any other plans for her. I think the other way around. I honestly think they didn't have any other plans for her. That's what I thought. Lana had a lucrative contract with the company, and her release shocked fans. Her release shocked many fans. Now, it seems that Lana made more money from her premium service than from her best years in WWE. Mandy Rose was let go from her contract due to content she posted behind her premium content paywall. It was reported that Mandy Rose was not even given a chance to take down her premium content before her WWE release. According to a report by Fightful's paywall, just like Mandy Rose, who made more money from her premium service, Lana also, and I just said that right in the open. I know you guys heard me. Lana also made it more. She made a lot more money. Lana primarily has been working on her Grand Army content site and has barely done any wrestling work since she was released in 2020. Harry reportedly made more with Grand Army than her best year in WWE, while the amounts haven't been really revealed yet. Fans of Mandy Rose should expect her to earn quite a lot now that she is a free agent. Lana also grabbed eyeballs with a very revealing video recently as well. We have to wait and see what the future holds for Lana, as AEW might be her next home if everything goes well. What is y'all's take on Lana? Everybody that's watching, let me know in the live chat, please. All right. Now that we got that news over with, your next WWE Tuesday afternoon news we have, guys, is on Roman Reigns. Got some news on him. Now, Roman Reigns could possibly refuse to work with Bray Wyatt. And there might be some answers as to why. There might be some answers as to why, man. There might be. Now, Roman Reigns has been on a path of destruction since his return to WWE after his pandemic hiatus. He has run over the whole company as the Undisputed Universal Champion. He shows no signs of slowing down. Of course he shows no signs of slowing down. I mean, we know that. In fact, almost every single feud Reigns has been in has only increased the stalk of both himself and his opponents. However, the same might not be liable to a potential feud with Bray Wyatt, says Ringside News. This is a big reason why Roman Reigns could refuse to work with Wyatt. Bray Wyatt returned to the company during WWE Extreme Rules, has been engaged in a feud with LA Knight on Friday Night SmackDown. As engaging as the feud has been so far, fans wonder whether Wyatt will finally feud with the Tribal Chief. Now, while speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer talked about Bray Wyatt's potential feuds in the future, including with Roman Reigns. Meltzer made it clear that Reigns might not even want to work with the Eater of Worlds. This is what he said. He says, and I quote, "Everybody who works with Bray Wyatt, very few of them come out looking better. Do they go with him and Roman?" He questioned that, and then he goes on to say, "I could see wanting nothing to do with this guy if it's not being built from Roman. Then he's got a limit to how far he can go. If Roman doesn't agree to work with him, obviously Roman Reigns is in a complete different place right now with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn." End quote. Roman Reigns is currently engaged in a feud with Kevin Owens, and fans are certainly looking forward to what WWE will have in store for Reigns. As for Bray Wyatt, perhaps fans won't get to see Reigns and Wyatt duke it out anytime soon. Man, I would love to see Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt duke it out. Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt would be one of the best storylines in all of WWE. I mean, they got a chance to do it next year. I think 2023 is the year we will start to see the Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt feud. Because like I said, I think Roman Reigns going into 2023 is signing a full-time deal. I cannot see him going to Hollywood. I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't see him going to Hollywood. He is one of my favorites. I would be upset. I would be devastated. I would be absolutely upset and devastated if Roman Reigns left WWE next year. If he leaves WWE next year, I will be absolutely sad and devastated. And rightfully so. He's one of my favorite male talents, man. One of my favorite WWE superstars of all time. Future Hall of Famer, no question about it. I mean, look at his resume. Clearly, his resume tells it all right there. His resume explains why he will be a future Hall of Famer. Roman Reigns is great in the ring. He has great in-ring skills. He has great chemistry with certain talent there. I just can't see him going to Hollywood. I just can't. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm ready for Roman Reigns to leave WWE yet. I don't think anybody that's a fan of Roman Reigns is ready for Roman Reigns himself to leave WWE yet. I want to see Roman Reigns in more feuds with more factions and more singles competitors with people he's never faced before. in the WWE. So hopefully he'll sign a time deal. We'll see whether he will or not. But Roman Reigns right now is currently engaged in a feud with Kevin Owens, and the fans are certainly looking forward to what WWE will have in store for Reigns. As for Bray Wyatt, guys, perhaps fans won't get to see Reigns and Wyatt duke it out anytime soon. So, what is y'all's take on this story about Roman Reigns? Sound off in the live chats, please. The live chats are open for you guys to comment your thoughts on every single WWE and AEW news that I give you guys. Every single piece of news article. Or however you guys want to call it when I give you guys your WWE and AEW news. Whatever you want to call it. Sooner or later, I'll start back doing WWE and AEW news live streams. Right now, I'm just taking a break from doing that. Right now, I'd rather give out your WWE and AEW news on all of my reviews that I go live with every week, including this one. And speaking of Monday Night Raw, we just reviewed Monday Night Raw. There's some Monday Night Raw news. So apparently WWE is planning special episode for Last of Raw of 2022. Now, WWE, of course, witnessed a significant increase in their viewership in the wake of Triple H's takeover of the creative department. Triple H and his administration. It appears that the game is planning to cap off 2022 by putting together a huge show for the WWE Universe. Awesome, man. Something Vince and Bruce can't even fucking do. That's a damn shame, man. I mean, who wants a 77-year-old demented old fuck anyway? Fuck him, man. Get him out. Good. This man should have retired 15 years ago, man. Bruce should have been fired already. Why is Bruce still there? Get him out. Seriously. No kidding. He is a disgrace, and he is a disgusting human being. He is a disaster to WWE and all of women's wrestling. Bruce Pritchard. Especially that Johnny Laurinaitis guy. WWE will hold the last Raw of 2022 on December the 26th. The company reportedly has 2 shows planned for the night. One set for Columbus and the other at Madison Square Garden. Now that one's probably going to be better than the one in Columbus, in my honest opinion. Just depends on what matches they have booked in segments. Depends on how the shows are written and produced right. Depends on how the matches are booked right. Hopefully it's not that 50-50 booking garbage, man. Hopefully. I hope we don't start to see that again. Dave Meltzer recently reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE is planning to hold a special episode of the Red Brand for December the 26th. The company is only doing one live show and not planning to tape anything for the next week. Oh, really? Oh, maybe because they want to save it for another time, for another day or something. I don't know, man. Maybe because of Christmas. Maybe because of the Christmas weekend. We do have Christmas weekend coming up. Given that Christmas is on the 25th, and it is on the Sunday, am I right? Am I correct? Let me see. 21st is Wednesday. 22nd is Thursday. 23rd is Friday. 24th is Saturday. 5th is Sunday. Okay, I was right. Okay, I'm right. I'm right again. Look at that. You love to see it. Anyways, the veteran journalists noted that he was told WWE would either tape tonight for next week or run a best of episode. Since they're not taping tonight, then it means they're likely doing a best of Raw for the show on the day after Christmas. What I mean by tonight is last night. So they more than likely taped 2 episodes of Monday Night Raw last night. He says here, and I quote, "By the way, tomorrow for the Raw, it has only a single taping from what I was told 2 weeks ago. They were considering to do a double taping, or it would be a single taping and a best of show on the 26th because they're not taping on the 26th, end quote. So both shows were obviously taped. That Raw for Columbus and the Monday Night Raw for Madison Square Garden. They were obviously taped. I mean, we ain't stupid. They say that as if WWE's trying to clickbait us or something, man. We know what's going on. We ain't dumb, man. I mean, really. I wish WWE would stop making us look dumb. Like we really not. We know more than what we're saying. We know more than what's going on in WWE, more than the majority of the people in the IWC Internet Wrestling community. I'm talking about me, my IWN community fans, and all my subscribers. And JD and his fan base. And some of the other smart guys out there. The upcoming edition of Raw is set to take place at the Wells Fargo Arena in Owa, which it took place last night, which was one of the greatest Monday Night Raws that we haven't got in a long time. I mean, Monday Night Raw hasn't really been good the last 2 weeks, but it's getting better now. Starting to get better now. And guys, as you all know, I just got through reviewing Monday Night Raw, so all you got to do is rewind the stream, go back, and listen to my Monday Night Raw review if you haven't. And please hit the thumbs up on the stream. Let's get at least 6 or 7 likes on the stream, man. I really appreciate it. 6, 7 likes minimum. At least 7 likes would be okay. If you're not okay with 7, let's go with 6. Now, we're going to move on to the next news here. Now, this one is on Jack Gallagher, considering that he used to be in WWE, he used to be in the men's cruiserweight division. Jack Gallagher apparently got demoted, or should I say, demolished in Pro MMA debut. The hashtag Speaking Out movement caused a lot of pro wrestling companies to make hard decisions when it comes to how they wanted to deal with their talent being accused of assault. Among other things, WWE decided to release Jack Gallagher back in 2020 for his inclusion in the movement. Now, Gallagher has been away from pro wrestling for a while now, and evenly made his professional MMA debut. However, it didn't turn out the way he wanted it to. Gallagher eventually found his way into Bar Knuckle Fighting Championship. Gallagher also competed in the British independent circuit since 2006. He was also a part of the 2016 WWE Cruiserweight Classic, eventually signed with WWE after that. Gallagher made his pro MMA debut over the weekend for Full Contact Contender FCC 32, which aired on UFC Fight Pass. He competed under his real name, Jack Claffey. He squared off against Marlon Jones. Now, shockingly enough, Jack Claffey lost to Marlon Jones the first round via TKO. Following his loss, Claffey took to Instagram and made it clear that he was disappointed with the results. He said, and I quote, "Here's my favorite photo from last night. Very disappointed in myself in my performance. Happy the night ended with a win." Who's for Black Chain or Blackie Chain Soda? At Blackie Chain Soda? I guess that's to the Twitter name or whatever. Who's worked essentially hard for it. Then he goes on to say, "Picture here doing his best Steve Austin impression. Thank you to everyone that's reached out. Messages for support are always welcome and appreciated. One win. one loss in 2022. Life is all about balance. Ring on 2023. But first, Coffee Cake and Clara Sinclair. Quote. Jack Laffey managed to win 2 amateur fights in 2015 and 16. Have to wait to see what the future holds for this former WWE superstar in particular. For the time being, Laffey knows what he wants to do in life. What is y'all's take on this story? Got some news on Sasha Banks. A lot of news on Sasha Banks starting to pop up lately, man. One of the biggest stories coming last week was Sasha Banks. The other biggest story coming out last week was Mandy Rose and Cody Rose. And even John Cena as well. Now, Sasha Banks traveled to Japan ahead of New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 17. Yes, guys, for the first time ever, I will be live with some New Japan Pro Wrestling content. I'll be live with my Wrestle Kingdom 17 watch along. I will do a review as well, just like I did with Ring of Honor Final Battle. But you know, I was live with Ring of Honor content for the first time. So, for the first time ever, Wrestle Kingdom watch along will be live next month, as well as the Royal Rumble watch along and review. And I'm actually going to be scheduling my Wrestle Kingdom 17 watch along and Royal Rumble watch along for this week after I get done working on both thumbnails and both backgrounds for both the watch alongs, both of the streams. But apparently the former WWE Women's Champion Sasha Banks will return to Japan following reports of an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom 17. Following the initial report, it has been confirmed that she was verbally agreed to a new deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So recently tweeted out that Sasha Banks will be in Japan from the middle of this week, encouraging Japan brands to contact them about potential collaborations. It says here, and I quote, Sasha Banks, a female, Sasha Banks, female top wrestler who has surpassed 5.6 million Instagram followers and is active in the American Professional Wrestling Organization. WWE will be staying in Japan from the middle of this week. Hope to collaborate with Japanese brands. If you are interested in brands or agencies, how about MTG, including her, on the 9th of December the 21st, Wednesday, or December the 23rd, Friday. I'll be waiting, end quote. Several sources have confirmed that Renato will wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling on January the 4th, 2023, which I kind of figured because I've been hearing a lot about it. So many people believe she will face Kyrie. And I'm sure you guys watching the chat's been hearing about it too. But anyways, many people believe she will face Kyrie, who will be defending her IWGP Women's Championship on the show. I'll keep you guys updated on Sasha Banks news as more news on Sasha Banks comes and goes this week. Now, the NXT superstar is set to compete during Monday Night Raw. It was reported that Andrew Chase was currently present in Iowa ahead of Monday Night Raw taping. He competed in the main event taping. The episode will be airing on Hulu on Thursday. Triple H giving the NXT creative more time to write talent off from the main roster call-ups. We'll have to wait and see whether Andrew Chase will eventually be called up to the main roster in the future, despite the fact that he's never won an NXT championship or an NXT Tag Team Championships. WWE pulls Hall of Famer from ECW tribute event, and I'm guessing you guys know who that particular Hall of Famer is. Well, you're going to be shocked. It turns out to be Devon Douglas. Apparently, WWE has a lot of people on their payroll, that could get work outside the company in certain instances. That being said, WWE wasn't okay with Devon Dudley's recent booking, so he was pulled. Are you guys shocked yet? You guys are about to find out a lot of information about this, because it says here that WWE Hall of Famer and NXT coach Devon Dudley was set to appear at the Battleground Championship Wrestling event over the weekend at the 2300. Am I right? 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The intention was for him to appear at the convention following the show, as well as in that clown Bully Ray's match against Matt Cardona that night. However, it has now been reported WWE pulled him from the event. According to PW Insider, the report noted that the promotion side indicated they received a legal letter from WWE this past Thursday, upset about BCW promoting a tribute to the Extreme show, playing off the ECW influential property held by WWE. The promotion said that Devon Dudley attempted to appeal the decision to Triple H, but was unsuccessful. BCW plans to make tribute to the Extreme an annual event every December. Says here, and I quote, WWE pulled WWE Hall of Famer and NXT coach Devon Dudley from the Battleground Championship Wrestling event over the weekend at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Devon had been slated to appear at the convention preceding the show, and then in Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, in his match that night against Matt Cardona. The promotion side is that they received a legal letter from WWE this past Thursday, upset about BCW promoting a tribute to the Extreme at the show, playing off the ECW influential property, which is obviously now owned by WWE. Devon was then pulled from the show, despite, according to the promotion, personally reaching out to WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Levesque to get the edit reversed, which was not successful. The promotion's Timothy Embler announced to the live crowd that promotion intends to make tribute to the Extreme an annual event every December. Last Saturday's show was headlined by Rhino versus Rob Van Dam, Super Crazy versus Juventud Guerrera, plus appearances from Shane Douglas, Pitbull, Grey Wolf, Francine, Joel Gardner, Tuco Scorpio, Raven, Sandman, Todd Gordon, Bill, Alfonso, Sabu, Tommy Rich, Little Luda, the Blue Meanie, and many others. The event sold out the 2300. I was about to say 2013 or 2023. That's not what I was trying to say, though. What I was trying to say was the event sold out the 2300 arena in advance. The event has already sold out, folks, so let's see what happens next. That's if any of us get to see what happens. Now, apparently, an ex-WWE star drops a tease for Royal Rumble return. And that person is none other than Chris Masters. WWE will hold the Royal Rumble event on January the 28th. The rumor mill is churning in a big way. Only time will tell who surprises us next month. But one former superstar is throwing his hat in the ring. Former WWE superstar Chris Masters had a decent time in WWE, where he would be involved in some memorable feuds. He was released by WWE in 2007 before returning for a shorter second run in 2009. Masters has been working hard in the indie circuit since his release, but has made it clear he does want to return to WWE since he dropped a huge tease recently yet again. Masters changed his ring name to Adonis and has been competing on the independent circuit. He also became the NWA National Heavyweight Champion on 2 different occasions. I heard something in the background. I don't know what that was. The Royal Rumble match will be taking place next year. It promises to have a lot of surprises for fans, with shocking returns being the norm for the Royal Rumble matches. Chris Masters decided to tease his return. Like anybody thinks that's going to happen. I mean, really. The Masterpiece took to Twitter and uploaded a video of his final wrestling match for this year before tagging WWE, seemingly hinting at a Royal Rumble return next year. His last match of 2022 took place in Pakistan. The only time will tell if he will compete for WWE NXT. Chris Masters also previously teased returning during the Royal Rumble match earlier this year. Oh, by the way, he said, and I quote, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, WWE. We'll have to wait and see if Masters will end up returning for next year's Royal Rumble event, as some fans would love to see him back, not all. I'm just going to say it like that. Damian Priest wants Judgment Day versus Bloodline feud. Yes, even I want Judgment Day versus Bloodline feud. I think there's a story there. I mean, Roman Reigns and Finn Balor has a history between one another. I mean, it makes sense. The Usos have a history with Finn Balor as well, and with Dominik Mysterio, because the Mysterios challenged the Usos for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions, I think, when Dominik Mysterio was a babyface. If I'm mistaken. If I'm right. Not sure. The Judgment Day has been at the forefront of Monday Night Raw and WWE for the past several months. Damian Priest is one of the hottest things in WWE right now as a member of the Judgment Day. The Arch of Infamy. The Arch of Infamy has stated his desire to face Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. The 40-year-old WWE superstar. Man, first of all, let's just acknowledge the fact that he is still 40 years old. Can you believe it? Damian Priest is 40 years old, and he's still wrestling in the ring. 40-year-old WWE superstar unexpectedly appeared during Edge and AJ Styles' WrestleMania 38 match to join the former Judgment Day group. Soon betrayed the rated R superstar by including Finn Balor and has since dominated Raw. Damian Priest expressed his desire to face the Tribal Chief, the Bloodline, on the 5 count. When asked about who he wants to face in WWE, he reacted by claiming the Judgment Day should soon clash with the Bloodline. The former U.S. champion declared that he wants to beat Roman Reigns to become the biggest superstar in the company. According to him, the encounter is unavoidable. He says here, and I quote, "It's hard to pick one over the other, but it'd be a lie if I didn't say at some point we need the Judgment Day and the Bloodline to get in there and mix it up. I want my name to live forever. I want the fame and the fortune and the stardom that comes with being the main WWE superstar." Hey, he stole my line. That's something I say, fame and fortune. I have to do that. I have to run through Roman Reigns. That has to happen at some point. I'm sure it will. We'll cross paths down the line. That's always a thought in my head before it's all said and done. Me and him need to square off. We need to handle some business together. I know that'll be great when it does happen. End quote. Given that the two groups are now on different brands, a confrontation does not appear to be in the cards right now. Hopefully, the showdown will take place in 2023 with Adam Pearce as the major attraction, hopefully. What is y'all's take on this story? Let me know in the live chats. Every single person that's watching the stream, let me know what you think of this story. Let me know your thoughts on Damian Priest. Moving on to some news. Oh, God. I can't believe I have to go over this news. This is unfortunate, but I want you guys to know it anyway. I want you guys to hear it anyway. It's important. It's somebody we don't like in WWE. There's some news on the WWE veteran accusing Johnny Laurinaitis Divas of taking advantage of girls in the locker room. Oh my goodness. Allegations are going to be coming up about Johnny Laurinaitis pretty soon, man. People don't stop messing around. Johnny Laurinaitis was the head of talent relations until he was released from his duties following Vince McMahon's exit. Good. They don't need him there anymore. Let the Triple H and his administration handle WWE. They're handling it more better than Vince and Bruce couldn't. Following his departure from the company, Jim Ross commented that Laurinaitis deserved to be out of the job for what he did to him. I mean, I agree with Jim Ross. And Jim Ross admitted that he didn't mean to say it, but no, we're not falling for that. You know what you meant to say it, Jim Ross. You know you meant to say that on purpose. Dutch Mantel addressed Jim Ross, given, and that's funny, it says Dutch Mantel when Mantel, you know, the toy company that makes WWE toys. I think they're the reasons, till this day, I still think they're the reasons why Mandy Rose got fired and released in the first place. Dutch Mantel addressed Jim Ross' comments on a recent episode of Story Time with Dutch Mantel. And the reason why I say Mantel, the reason why Mandy Rose got released is because Mantel, I guess they were mad and jealous of Mandy Rose's premium content. Yes, they were jealous about the fact that Mandy Rose was making more money than WWE. Maybe that could be it right there. You know, you never know. You never know, man. But Dutch Mantel addressed Jim Ross's comments on a recent episode of Storytime with Dutch Mantel, saying that he was surprised that Ross barely spoke ill of anyone. So it says here in that quote from Dutch Mantel, that Jim Ross talks very soberly about people that he doesn't like. And this right here kind of surprised me, that he talked about Laurinaitis in such a way. Mantel said there's no doubt that he doesn't respect Laurinaitis. Nobody in WWE respects Laurinaitis. He's a Vince McMahon cocksucker. Same with Bruce Prichard. Yes, Vince. Yes, Vince. Yeah, we know. Yes, I'm going to do this, Vince. Yes, I'm going to do that, Vince. He's that guy, just like Bruce Prichard. He is just like that fat slob, Bruce Prichard, man. But there's no doubt that he doesn't respect Laurinaitis with that last comment he made. He goes on to say, so if he's out of the loop, I agree with Jim. He kind of deserves it. Said Dutch Mantel. End quote. Dutch Mantel also recalled hearing some stories about how Johnny Laurinaitis took advantage of girls in the locker room. He continued his allegations by, well, allegations are soon going to be coming up on Johnny Laurinaitis next year. And then, that's where Bruce Prichard's going to get fired, and that's where allegations may come up on him, too. Bruce Prichard might have been doing the same thing. You never know, man. These fucking sickos, man, I tell you. My goodness. These pervs. Nothing but a bunch of perverts, man. Get your minds out of the gutter, man. Seriously. These females ain't stupid. They know what you're doing. You know you're getting out. And if you're that sick, that's how you know you're getting allegations. Now, he continued his allegations, relaying stories he heard about Johnny Ace. Oh, that's Johnny. You mean to tell me that's Johnny Laurinaitis' real name, Johnny Ace? Says here, and I quote, I've heard some stories about Laurinaitis and the girls up there in WWE. Huh, probably talking about the Divas. Total Bellas, Nikki, Bella, Free Bella. Well, anyways, says here, and I quote, I've heard some stories about Laurinaitis and the girls up there in WWE. Some of those girls were really, really nice girls. Yeah, sure they were. Says Mintel, sure they were. They've been around guys, but they've never been around a dressing room with wrestlers. And the vibe is different. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to fit in. Fit in what? They're trying to get people to like them, especially management. And he was trying to take advantage of that. End quote. I've heard a lot of people saying that John Laurinaitis took advantage of those women. I believe that. Till this day, I still believe that. Well, it's sad to see someone lose their job. Not sad to see Johnny Laurinaitis lose a job. He deserves it. Guy's a hypocrite. Guy's a freaking perv, man. If the rumors surrounding Johnny Laurinaitis are true, maybe he had it coming to him in the first place. I mean, we all know the rumors are true. Ringside News were the ones that said if the rumors surrounding Johnny Laurinaitis are true, which obviously, to me, they are. I'm pretty sure to you guys, they are too. I mean, come on. Based on what's being said about him following his release, we have definitely seen the end of Johnny Laurinaitis and WWE, folks. And we are going to see the end of Bruce Prichard starting next year. Bruce Prichard next year is going to be fired and he's going to be actively removed. I would not be surprised if Bruce Prichard steps down going into 2023. I hope he does. He does not deserve to be there. He does not deserve to ever step foot in the WWE building ever again. You guys know why. You guys exactly know why. Vince and Bruce are all about their stupid political agendas, man. Their creative is shitty. Their producing and writing is terrible. I'm talking about the Vince and Bruce and the Vince and Bruce administration. Their writing is terrible, dude. Their booking is terrible. I am glad Vince is gone. I am glad Johnny Laurinaitis is gone. And I'm definitely going to be glad Bruce Prichard's gone. When he gets fired, I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to be celebrating, dude. I really am. No shit. I'm glad Triple H is there now. Things are changing. WWE is getting back better again than what it used to be when the Black and Gold brand was around. Things were better when Triple H was around. When Triple H was in charge of Black and Gold brand. Things are even more better with Triple H in WWE. The Monday Night Raw SmackDown shows are getting better. NXT shows are getting better. That's why I started back going live with my Monday Night Raw and NXT reviews. You see clearly why I've been live for both my NXT and Raw reviews, because the shows are getting better now. Now I can start back reviewing shows that I know. I can say, hey, this show is great. Or, hey, this show was one of the best fucking episodes in the industry. And shit like that, you know? I don't want to shit on. I don't want to watch a show where I'm going to shit on it on my review and say, oh, this show sucks. Oh, man, this match was the only worst match on the show. I don't want to be saying shit like that, man. Come on. That ain't professional at all. That is not professional at all, man. Legitimately. Oh, by the way, there's some more news on Johnny Laurinaitis. Johnny Laurinaitis' next likely move after WWE release. In definitive, it's so good to be true, man. Oh man, it feels good to be true, man. Oh my goodness, guys. Johnny Laurinaitis was on definitive administrative. Oh man, it feels good to be true, man. He was placed on indefinite administrative leave. Oh man, his future was all but certain after that. As previously reported, Johnny Laurinaitis was fired by WWE earlier this year. Yeah, I know, man. I know it's funny. It's funny. It's so funny that my pet fox was even laughing. Holy shit, man. While speaking on the Cheap Heat Productions podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke talked about Johnny Ace's firing. Luke noted that Laurinaitis has been getting offers to be at conventions and Q&A sessions. Yeah, right. Give me a break. Yeah, sure thing. Sure, he was offered conventions and Q&A sessions. As if anybody's going to want to hire somebody like that. You got to be kidding. Give me a break. This and I quote, "A good friend of mine was released from WWE about 3 months ago. He was Vince's right-hand man. They dragged him into the scandal to take the heat. And now people are ringing him up to book him for conventions and maybe for Q&As. That doesn't sound good. Because they want to know dirt behind the scenes. Oh, because they want to know the dirt behind the scenes. Well, Johnny Laurinaitis is not going to explain the dirt behind the scenes because he's still a Vince McMahon guy. Clearly. And if he's a Vince McMahon guy, you know he's going to keep everything secret. Same with Bruce Prichard. And quote, everything I just read was from Bushwhacker Luke. Jim Ross also recently stated that Johnny Ace deserves the misery he is in. I absolutely agree. Keep up the negative comments to Johnny Laurinaitis, Jim Ross. I freaking agree. He really does. He really does. He made WWE a living hell. Johnny Laurinaitis, Bruce Prichard, and Vince, all three of them were complete nightmares to WWE. They were all complete disaster. WWE was a complete nightmare with Vince and Bruce there, man. They ruined everything. They ruined the pay-per-views. They ruined Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. Can you imagine if Vince McMahon came back? SmackDown, Raw, and NXT would be as dead as the sun in the sky. No kidding. NXT would be dead all over again. My God. Please. Keep Vince McMahon as far away from WWE as you can. Please. Please. We don't want to see Vince McMahon back. Nobody wants Vince back. Nobody gives a about Vince. Okay? Okay? I'm going to say this one more time with a positive passion. With a serious passion, man. I'm going to say this in a real, honest to God, truthful way possible. Nobody gives a about Vince McMahon. Get him out. Anyways, moving on to your next WWE Tuesday afternoon news. Another NXT star was working during a main event taping. who that particular star was? Well, it turned out to be somebody we see in NXT every week. His name is Exam. According to PW Insider, another NXT star was set to work this week's main event taping at the Wells Fargo Arena, which he did. The performer was none other than Exam. It says here that Exam was backstage at last night's Raw. PW Insider confirmed. Exam is likely to work the WWE main event taping, which he did, as I was told by Ringside News anyway. Andrew Chase was also there as well. The NXT stars who have previously worked main event tapings include Carmelo Hayes, Braun Wagner, Kiana James, and Duke Hudson. Yada, yada, yada. We knew that. We knew that months ago. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. We all knew that months ago, man. Months ago! Anyway. MVP teases Hurt Business reunion during Monday Night Raw. MVP guided Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander to singles and tag team glory during the pandemic era. Man, the pandemic era is one of the worst eras I've ever lived in. It's one of the worst eras that anybody that's living on this earth has ever lived in. It's one of the worst eras that even my KFC employees has ever lived in. But Vince McMahon dissolved Hurt Business without a logical explanation. It appears that a reunion is around the corner. Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick brought up the Bobby Lashley incident during Raw last night. The duo noted that WWE official Adam Pearce was waiting on the Almighty to respond to him backstage. Pearce was seen delivering a voicemail to Lashley to set up a meeting with him. MVP appeared asked Pearce about Lashley, teasing a Hurt Business reunion in process. Pearce, however, man, first of all, they don't even know if he even teased a Hurt Business reunion. Now, you can't just fucking look at MVP appear on TV and say that he teased the Hurt Business. I mean, how do you know that? How do you know for sure if the Hurt Business is getting reunited or not? That's my question to Ringside News. And to whoever brought it up. Anyways. Pearce, however, was unable to answer MVP's question as to he was actually approached by a referee who, I guess, seemingly informed him about the backstage chaos caused by the bloodline. So I guess we can see the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley we could see Bobby Lashley as the next WWE champion sometime. We could see Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin as the next Raw Tag Team champions. Again. Maybe. I don't know. Not anytime soon right now, though. Of course. Now, my question to you guys is, what is your take on the story? On live chat. Now, the WWE did confirm the Best of Raw episode for next week. So, WWE, says Ringside News, may not be running a live Raw next week, but that doesn't mean the Stanford-based promotion is leaving the slot empty for December the 26th next week. It's going to be a recap of 2022. WWE confirmed during Raw this week that they will be holding the absolute best of 2022 edition of the Red Brand to cap off the year. The company is only doing one live show, not planning to tape anything for the next week. That's what they say. So, WWE will return to live television on January the 2nd, 2023. So far, the company has announced 2 title matches. The first Raw of New Year, which will be Bianca Belair defending her Rollins Championship against Alexa Bliss. 2 weeks from now, United States Champion will be on the line as well. Austin Theory will put his title on the line against Seth Rollins. It remains to be seen who will come out the victor 2 weeks from now. Bronson Reed says everyone is on notice after WWE Raw return. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What did I just hear? What did I just hear, dude? What did I just hear, dude? Uh-oh. Bronson Reed just said that everyone is on notice after his Monday Night Raw return. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A storm's coming. Uh-oh. Tornado's coming, man. We gotta hit the ground, man. We gotta hit the shelter, dude. Holy shit. Bronson Reed's coming to get us, man. He's gonna make the fucking earth shake with his fucking weight. My goodness. Bronson Reed was released by WWE last year in a move that certainly shocked fans. Reed was let go because the company believed Reed simply didn't fit the new vision of the NXT. No. The reason why Vince and Bruce let him go was because, number one, they didn't have any plans for him. Number two, yeah, he didn't fit their vision. And number three, he was overweight. In other words, Vince and Bruce saw him as a fat person. And they didn't want fat, overweighted guys on their show. And remember earlier I said clearly that right there is enough to tell you that Vince and Bruce doesn't give a fuck about men's and women's wrestling. They only give a fuck about themselves and what they want on their shows. They only care about their vision. They don't care about the WWE Universe's vision. They don't care. They don't care about Triple H's vision. None whatsoever. They only go by themselves and their stupid little political agendas, man. Which is absolutely a damn shame. It's absolutely ridiculous. Really. Every sense of the word. It seems Reed decided to put the entire WWE locker room on notice. As seen on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Bronson Reed made his shocking return during Winner Takes All. I see that webcam is off, guys. I am fully aware. Fully aware, man. Let me see. It's time. It's done wore it out. I think my laptop is wearing it out. It's time to get a new one. Bronson Reed made his shocking return during the Winner Takes All. I guess the webcam cut off, telling me that I'm right. Maybe the webcam is telling me that I'm right, man. You never know. It cut off for a legit reason. Clearly, I was right about what I said. Vince and Bruce don't give a fuck about WWE. They don't give a fuck about World Wrestling Entertainment. They really don't. That's the truth. We all seen it firsthand when they first took charge of WWE, when they first took over. But Reed made a shocking return during the Winner Takes All ladder match between Miz and Dexter Lumis, seemingly turning heel. He's a heel now. Reed assisted The Miz in defeating Lumis by laying waste to Lumis, helping The Miz climb the ladder to win the match. Following the conclusion of Monday Night Raw, Bronson Reed took to Twitter, put the entire WWE locker room on notice, making sure people don't forget him. Motherfucker, look, we haven't forgot about you, man. We haven't forgot about you since your days in NXT. Trust me, we know who you are. That's odd how the fans didn't know who Candice LeRae and Tegan Nox were, because Candice LeRae and Tegan Nox had different looks. That's why I think their looks fooled the fans. I guess their looks got the fans' attention. I don't know. Everyone is unnoticed, says Bronson Reed. End quote. Ringside News, my only sources I have in the community, they reported that Bronson Reed's return is a safe bet. That is exactly what happened. It remains to be seen whether Bronson Reed will benefit from working together with The Miz for the time being. What is y'all's take on Bronson Reed's return? Ooh, I want to know what y'all's take on this is. Let me know in the chat. Fans are not happy about Eva Marie teasing a WWE return. I don't blame Eva Marie's fucking terrible. She's one of the worst women's wrestlers in WWE. Nobody wants her there. Nobody wants her there, man. Nobody. I'll be damned if all of us have to deal with seeing Eva Marie on TV. Nah. They go too far with that one, man. No way. Impact. Maybe I could take care of her now. Fuck Eva Marie, fuck Impact, man. Nobody watches Impact. How many fans they got in attendance now? They got 8 fans? I don't know, man. Maybe 4 fans. I don't know. Nobody watches that shit, man. Get your minds out of the gutter. Nobody's watching Impact. Anyways. Whoa! I got some news on the Tribute to the Troops viewership. Oh, man. The viewership fall to an all-time low. I can easily see why, because nobody watches it. It was boring. Yeah, I watched the Tribute to the Troops. You didn't think I wouldn't watch it? It was boring. It's not good at all. But it was for the troops. I understand. I mean, I respect that, but they didn't deliver a good show on the Tribute to the Troops television special. So according to WrestleNomics on their Patreon, this year's Tribute to the Troops aired on Saturday afternoon on Fox with a 2:53 p.m. start time. It was watched by an average of 612,000 viewers. Yeah, sure thing. It was probably less than that. The show had a 0.17 P1849 rating, or about 220,000 viewers in the age group. It was the lowest viewership for a Tribute to the Troops episode since the inception of the event back in 2003. It was added that the viewership gain by the event was 1/3 of the audience. The annual special had last year when it aired on Fox with a Sunday 5 p.m. start time. It was further reported that the program aired in all markets and was creeped in a small number where it aired at a different time or another network. Oh, that explains it. The viewership is also counted toward the final measurement. Guess we'll have to see whether next year's show will fare any better, huh? Oh, God. There's some moves on Molly Holly. I'm not going over it. Man. I'll move it on. Guys, it's time for your AEW Tuesday afternoon news. I have gone over all of your WWE Tuesday afternoon news now. We're going to move on to AEW. To my AEW YouTube subscribers, you better get your butts in here, man. If you want to know your AEW news this week. Because we got a whole bunch of it. Well, no, I'm just kidding. Not a whole bunch of it. We got a little bit before I get out of here. We're going to start with the AEW Tuesday afternoon news on Iron Anderson. This is the second news article in a row I've seen on Iron Anderson, and this one is big. So apparently Anderson will retire after his AEW contract expires. A WWE Hall of Famer, Iron Anderson will always be remembered as an enforcer for the legendary Four Horsemen stable during its days with NWA and WCW, says Ringside News. He's been a manager for AEW ever since the company was formed back in 2019. Like most pro wrestlers in their 60s, they tend to look to retirement in the business, and that time is coming to an end for Anderson. Unfortunately, to the Iron Anderson fans, on the newest episode of the Iron Podcast, Anderson revealed that he plans to retire when his AEW contract runs out in the next 18 months. He talked about his son, Brock, not getting enough reach on TV. He says, and I quote, "I'm hanging on to the idea that Brock Anderson just hasn't had his second chance yet because of the rotation." I was going to say routine, damn it. Anderson said, "I'm sure it's nothing that he's done negatively with AEW. I'm still under contract for about a year and a half. Brock about 6 months. We just don't have enough segments of television to get everybody on there every week." And then Iron Anderson goes on to say that I'm sure Tony struggles with it, trying to get everybody on there and get everybody rotated. We're just hanging out. We're hanging on. We don't want to do anything else. He's still going to the gym a couple of days a week where he was trained. Moody's Gym here in Charlotte. We're still getting in the ring a couple of days. We just haven't been on TV. We've been gone. I don't know if you all noticed. For the entire summer, we haven't been on TV probably since May. I know it seems long for us. I don't know if it seems long for anybody else. Well, we've been doing some independent stuff. A few independent bookings here. End quote. Iron said that John Moxley has an interest in helping Brock as well. Anderson believes Moxley sees a lot of potential in his son, even though he doesn't have that much in-ring experience. He continues to say, "I know Moxley has taken an interest in him. A couple of days of TV got him in the ring in front of some of the other young boys and wrestled them around a little bit. I think a lot of people see potential in Brock, but still he's pretty much in that stage where he's still very, very green. He hasn't had maybe 30 or 40 matches, but the key to this is business and getting better, consistency. Wrestling reaps day after day, 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. That's how you that's how you get better." And then he goes on to say that's just not an opportunity where we are now. I'm just going to plan on a year and a half from now being retired from the business. Hopefully, we'll be able to get Brock ready for that. So 23 should be me on the beach somewhere more than once." End quote. The day Iron Anderson walks away from the pro wrestling business will be a sad one, but the talent it won't. Iron brings a lot of experience, knowledge in helping out young talent for decades in WCW and AEW. Hopefully his teachings and methods will bring down to the next generation of in-ring competitors. What do you guys think of Iron retiring in 18 months? Sound off in the live chats. There's some news on the AEW Revolution tickets. So apparently AEW Revolution are not moving as many tickets as expected. Now, as you guys know, AEW has seen quite a lot of development in various ways since its debut, especially regarding the overall presentation of its product. Pay-per-views produced by the company have largely been doing quite well, especially this year. However, that isn't always the case for each event, as AEW Revolution still has a considerable number of tickets left to sell. Throughout the entire duration of the year, the company has produced 5 pay-per-views of them. The Forbidden Door event, Double or Nothing have been the biggest sellers so far. However, this year's AEW Revolution wasn't a slouch in any sense. The company will be holding the Revolution pay-per-view next year at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California on March the 5th, 2023, according to WrestleTix. The event has sold 5,743 tickets. There are still 1,937 tickets left to be sold. The maximum capacity is 7,680 seats for the whole venue. Compared to last week, ticket sales have not been going as well as expected. That's not good. They need to speed the tickets up, man. They got to speed it up a bit, man. They can't be tripping. They can't be fooling around like that. With there still being a few months before the pay-per-view, one can assume AEW Revolution will manage to sell out by then. They need to be sold out now. So that way, you won't have to make a last-minute decision to try to sell out before Revolution gets here. You know, when the Revolution's here. You don't want to sell out the tickets a day before the pay-per-view, you know. That wouldn't look good for AEW. So they need to sell out the tickets as much as possible, as soon as possible. What's y'all's take on the ticket sales? Let me know y'all's take on the ticket sales, man. We got some more news to go over, some more AEW Tuesday afternoon news. Apparently, AEW hasn't signed recent returned star to new contract. And guess who that recent returned superstar is? Stu Grayson. Now, AEW has a long list of talent under contract, but they don't sign everyone to full-time deals. A lot of talent are under per appearances contracts. That is the case with one star who recently returned. Stu Grayson was one of the founding members. I said his name in the open. He's one of the founding members of AEW's Dark Order faction. Things did not bode well for the Dark Order this year after Colt Cabana went AWOL. Yeah, Colt Cabana went AWOL. Yeah. Like a complete geek. Preston Vance defected to Rush's faction. You know, Rush's faction with Dragon Lee and all those guys. Stu Grayson left AEW after his contract expired in May. Although fans were given hope after seeing Stu Grayson return. Now, it seems they would have to hold their breath. At least maybe. The other founding members of the Dark Order, Evil Uno, appeared in an interview with Fightful and confirmed that Grayson is not back in AEW but remains on good terms with the promotion. Uno continued stating that Grayson is currently concentrating more on teaching than wrestling and has made a concerted to be to his private life. Dark Order made their surprise debut at AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view on May 25th, 2019, after the match between Best Friends and TH was over. Grayson and Uno appeared and started attacking with the help of masked henchmen. Those creepers went away, but the stable stayed around for a while. After leaving AEW, Stu Grayson stated he would be taking on indie bookings when he makes his AEW return is up in the air. But it's great to know he's focusing on himself, at least. Unlike what some people need to be doing. They know exactly who I'm talking about. They know who I'm talking about. They're probably watching the stream right now. They know I'm talking about them. What do you think? What do you guys think Stu Grayson will make his official return to AEW? AEW adds a segment to this week's Dynamite. That segment is the Keith Lee Swerve Strickland face-off. Obviously, I have that listed in my description for the card for Dynamite. As you guys know, earlier this week, I scheduled my AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash watch-along. That'll be live tomorrow night. My NXT review will either be live Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. I may schedule it for Wednesday morning. It'll probably be at around 2, maybe either 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 2:30 a.m., one of the three. So be on the lookout for my NXT review. Because when I come home, as soon as I come home, I'm taking a, I'm going to say BR. I'm taking a B. I'm taking a B and I'm watching NXT. I'm not going to say the whole word because too much information. That's why. Way too much information. Now, the Lee Strickland face-off included Lee walking out on Strickland, among other things. At Ring of Honor Final Battle, Strickland left the arena alone after he and Keith Lee competed in a tag team match. Keith Lee took to Twitter and revealed that he will have a face-to-face meeting with Swerve Strickland on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. We will have to wait and see what Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland will have to say to each other on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Perhaps they will finally end their tag team for good. Now, this is the last time I'm going to, well, actually, I might as well reveal the card to you guys tomorrow night as well. But I'm going to go ahead and reveal to you guys the card now, so that way you'll know ahead of time. The card for Dynamite tomorrow night, got the Elite versus Death Triangle, no disqualification, match 5 in best of 7 series. I think this is where the Elite is going to win this time. This is the week that the Elite has to win. But they're not going to be AEW Trios championships. If Death Triangle wins the whole thing, this could mean a heel turn for Kenny Omega. This could lead to Kenny Omega turning heel on the Young Bucks. It also lead to the return of Ibushi. We could see the team of Ibushi and Kenny Omega feuding with the Young Bucks if this doesn't happen. Now, if the Elite do win it, that could signify a heel turn for Pac. Then we could see Pac turning heel on Penta and Rey Fenix. And that'll give us Pac feuding with Penta and Rey Fenix. So, the other matches that are listed for AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash tomorrow night is Jamie Hayter defending her AEW World Women's Championship against Hikaru Shida. FTR versus the Guns. The Guns, known as the what's that thing that the fans say in the arena in the crowd? What is that thing they say? Oh, we got FTR versus the Guns, known as the Boys. Yeah, I said it. Not legitimately though. I blocked the password. I blocked the cuss word, man. Then we got the Daniel Bryan promo. I'm so used to calling Bryan Danielson Daniel Bryan because that was his name in WWE, his ring name. But Bryan Danielson will be cutting a promo on Dynamite tomorrow night. Ricky Starks will appear. Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland, face-to-face meeting. That is the card for Dynamite Holiday Bash tomorrow night. I'll be live for the watch along, of course. And please, let's get the biggest audience in the live chat. Let's not make it a dead chat like it was last Wednesday night, to where I only had 2-3 people. Let's get as much people in here as we can for Dynamite tomorrow night. There's some news on Jeff Hardy. Again, Jeff Hardy's attorney files motion to postpone pre-trial hearing. How many times are we going to see news on this? I done seen this news article 6 different times. According to PW Insider, Jeff Hardy's attorney filed a motion to postpone this Wednesday's scheduled pre-trial hearing regarding his DWI arrest in Florida. This morning, the motion notes 6 key points, which you may find below, says Ringside News. I'm going to read them to you guys. To those of you that are Jeff Hardy fans, you might want to tune in for this one. It says here, and I quote, unopposed motion to continue pretrial conference. Defendant Jeffrey Nero Hardy moves to continue the pretrial conference scheduled for December the 21st, 2022, and in support state. Mr. Hardy, number one, Mr. Hardy is charged by information with 1 count of driving in violation of driver's license restriction, 1 count of driving while license canceled, suspended, or revoked, 1 count of driving under the influence, 3rd offense. Jesus Christ, man. His charges are building up more as I see it. Number 2, efforts to resolve the matter by plea agreement have yet to be successful. The state of Florida provided discovery on October the 31st, 2022 in the form of maintained, or should I say maintenance records related to the 800 used in the case. Then it says number 4, defense counsel requires additional time to examine perceived reflected in the maintenance records and dispose the law enforcement witness responsible for maintenance. And then number 5, it says undersigned counsel has confirmed with Assistant State Attorney Amy Essent. Ms. Essent does not oppose the relief sought by this motion. And then number 6 says undersigned counsel respectfully suggests a continuance of the pretrial conference for approximately 45 days is appropriate. End quote. Jeff Hardy filed a written plea of not guilty filed with the court on the 28th of June. If the court approves the delay, it will most likely be rescheduled for February 2023. Hardy's attorneys re-announced his right to a speedy trial and asked that a hearing scheduled for this past July be moved back 60 days to help with his defense. Jeff Hardy's scheduled hearing in October was then rescheduled due to a last-minute motion from his attorney, who stated that Hardy's attorneys recently provided extensive mitigation materials to the counsel for the state and that the parties require additional time to negotiate a potential pretrial resolution. implying that the two sides are working on a plea agreement that would avoid a trial. So that's that. My question to you guys is, do you feel bad for Jeff Hardy? Well, I know I do. Kenny Omega is likely having a AEW contract extension. While speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer was asked about Kenny Omega's contract by a listener. The listener asked whether Omega's contract will expire in January, to which Meltzer confirmed the initial date. It says here, and I quote, January the 30th or February the 1st. And quote, the fan then went on to ask whether Kenny Omega's contract was extended or not. This is because Omega is currently being promoted for AEW show in Winnipeg, which will be in March. It goes on to say AEW is currently advertising him for the Winnipeg show. That's in March. Does this mean his contract has been extended to make up for the injury time, whereas he signed a new contract? And quote, Dave Meltzer then talked about Kenny Omega's contract status with AEW. He added that Omega has not signed a new contract, but the company likely extended his contract. It continues on to say that, as far as I know, he hasn't signed a contract. He hasn't signed a new contract. And I would think if he had, they would have sent out a release like they did for Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley, because he had all that time off with the injury. I think that they froze it and will extend it. End quote. Kenny Omega also competed during AEW Dark tapings this week. Kenny Omega is set to team up with the Young Bucks, square off against Death Triangle in their next match in the best of 7 series with Death Triangle. For the AEW Trios titles, we have to wait and see whether the Elite will win the series in the end. What's y'all's take on Kenny Omega? Let me know. Well, folks, that's going to do it for your AEW Tuesday news. That's going to do it for both of your AEW Tuesday afternoon news. Before I get the heck on out of here, be sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure anytime I schedule a watch-along review every week, make sure you hit the notify me button so that way you get notified on when each and every single live stream goes live. And also turn on the bell for notifications as well. That helps as well. Your likes and your overwhelming support for the channel have been amazing. Overwhelming. Keep on supporting my channel, guys, any way you can. I really appreciate the love and support I'm getting. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. We currently have 513 subscribers. We are still on the road to 600. If we can get some new subscribers in, that would be nice. Hopefully, this review gets more views this week, like my SmackDown review did. My SmackDown Rampage review. Hopefully, I made y'all's day better. Going live with a Monday Night Raw review. And thank you guys so much for joining the live chats. Even though nobody decided to comment. It's okay. Well, guys, I'm getting out of here. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, let me know in the comments below when the stream ends. And I will see each and every single one of you in the live chat for NXT Wednesday morning. Peace. Adios. I'm getting out of here. I'll see y'all later.